This car is going to have one of the best 0 to 100 mile an hour times of any car on the planet because there's no gear change.
Yeah.
I mean, this will just crush a Ferrari. I mean, I don't see why anyone would have a Ferrari or a Maserati or anything like that. It just seems like...
I'm here to no marketing pitch.
I'm confused. So you want to kill the environment and have a slow car. I don't get it.
Now, is it true that Tesla's going to own its own dealerships?
Yes.
That's very old-fashioned. That's like Henry Ford, 1920. Do you really want to do that?
Absolutely. If you look at the strategy that Apple embarked upon with the Apple Store approach, I think that's a very smart strategy. It's a superior customer experience. People look forward to the App Store. Hell, even if you don't want to buy an app, just sort of order buyers and go in.
Well, you're going to put the service shop out front, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right in the window, so you can walk by and watch guys working on these things.
Yeah, I wrote a little blog piece about a year ago on what I think the sort of perfect Tesla store should be, and it's a sort of combination of an Apple store, Starbucks, and a fine restaurant. And the reason I say the fine restaurant is because if you go to a place where there's excellent cuisine, you can often see the chef working in the kitchen. Actually, the kitchen is visible. You can see the chef creating a sort of masterpiece there, and it actually helps sell the meal. Like you're like, wow, I actually want to eat it more because I'm seeing the chef. Now, in a bad restaurant, they hide the kitchen. You don't want to see the chef sweating in food. So it's the same. Because our car is so clean, there's no oil, there's no fumes, there's no nasty liquids. We actually think that bringing service up front helps sell the car. And we think people want to come by just to see the car getting serviced, to see what this thing's made of and how does it work. And we also want to generate more of a direct interaction between the people servicing the car and the end customers. I mean, if the technician knows the person who's working on the car, if they know the car and that vice versa, I think it generates more of a personal connection. I want to do a better job.
Now, what are you going to do with batteries when you recycle?
So our battery pack is landfill safe and non-toxic. And it actually has high residual value because of the metallic components, particularly with cobalt content. So, they'll be recycled and turned into new batteries.
Okay, I'm going to be a hometown boy because this thing was designed up here. This is a Silicon Valley creation, but you launch it in LA. I know you live in LA, but shouldn't that have happened right here in Silicon Valley?
You raise a good point. I'm conflicted. I lived in Silicon Valley for 10 years. I actually consider myself to have some of the Silicon Valley point of view. I moved out to LA to start a rocket company because the biggest concentration of space engineers in the world is in Southern California. Otherwise, I would not have left the Bay Area, ever, probably. And I think there is a reason to have it at the first store opening in LA because you got the Hollywood Apple. Okay, so here in Silicon Valley, we all love technology and we love the geek act.
It's more important to have Schwarzenegger order one, right?
It's more important to have like Quincy Jones show up and Arnold Schwarzenegger and the Hollywood set because the broader industry press is more interested in writing about that than they are about a bunch of geeky engineers getting together. I love the geeky engineers, but just I'm a geeky engineer, so. But just from considering the impact, the broader impact in society, because we want to get out, we want to stand beyond, get the mind share beyond the sort of technical, elite. So that's the reason why I like it.
When I introduced you, I pointed out that you're very different from most of your entrepreneurial peers. Most of them have stayed in the Web 2.0 world.
Right.
They've stayed either with the internet, with code, with 2 or 3 levels removed from the actual hardware. But you're down deep in the hardware. I mean, this is like the Packard garage. I mean, this is like the 1920s or something, where you're building stuff. What makes you different from all these other guys?
Well, there are a few examples of people that have gone from the web world to the hardware world, like Martin Rorschach with Nanosolar. And you know, a number of people actually in the green tech world are former internet people in tech.
No, I understand. There's a difference between solar cells and rockets and
there is.
cars.
Sure.
You know, I mean, Jeff Skoll may go from eBay to something else, but he's making movies, which
Yeah.
is software too. But
Sure.
you got like a thing with tires and wheels, and you have a big thing with flames coming out of the bottom of it. That's a whole different direction to go than anybody else. Why you?
You know, I guess there's not necessarily a logical connection, except for the fact that when I was in college, I thought about, you know, what are the most important problems that will affect the future of humanity, and the three were that I thought the internet, space exploration, particularly the extension of life beyond Earth on a permanent basis, and then transition to a renewable energy economy. So that was like, okay, those are the three problems that seemed most interesting to me. So I did a couple of internet companies, then did the space company, and as the primary activity, and then had two clean energy companies. Tesla and Solar City.
Right, so you're 3 for 3 on your career goals, and you're 37?
Well, I will be 37. I'm not 37 yet.
Let's go back to the beginning, because I read something very interesting about you that I didn't know. You got your first computer at 10, is that correct?
Yeah, it was about 10, 9 or 10, somewhere in there. Yeah. Well, if you count computer as one that you can program as opposed to one you can play games on.
Yeah, but what I read was you got your first programmable computer at 10, and you sold your first computer product at 12.
Yeah. Software game.
Well, I mean,
I got the computer so I could write games, actually. That was really the reason. It wasn't anything.
Were you always that entrepreneurial? I mean, it's increasingly common to see a 10-year-old writing code, okay? But it's not very common to see a 12-year-old who's only been on a computer for 2 years actually designing and retailing products. I mean, the entrepreneurs are getting younger, but they're not getting that young.
You know, it wasn't really all that planned. It was just that when I was 10, I really liked playing games. I had like a game console, you know, an Atari, and a television, and then then I saw a computer in the store where you could write your own games. And I'm like, wow, I really want to write my own games. And then so I bought that, and I bought a bunch of books on how to program, and I'm just in South Africa, so it's not like there's a giant programming community. So I taught myself how to program as best I could, and then wrote a game which was like a combination of it's like Galaga and Space Invaders, sort of combination, called Blaster, and then I found out, okay, you can sell games and make money. So like, wow, okay, so I'll sell a game and make money, and then I can buy more computer stuff. That's really what I had to sell.
And it's pyramided ever since.
Yeah.
So you go out to college and you formulate these 3 goals in your life, the 3 big things you wanted to do.
Yeah, actually, I didn't really think of them as goals. I just thought of like these are the important problems, and if I could be involved in helping solve those, that'd be great. I didn't actually think I'd be involved. I had zero expectation of being involved in space, because that just seemed like something that was
something governments do.
Yeah, it's only governments, and only a few governments at that.
Yeah. And then you get accepted. I like this part. You got accepted to Stanford in high energy physics, and you lasted 2 days?
Yeah, actually, technically, high energy physics is sort of a defined term in the physics world. So technically, what I was doing was involved high energy and it involved physics, but it was not high energy physics. It
didn't make a lot of difference. You only did it 2 days.
Yeah, true. It was really, it was basically, what I was going to study was the physics and material science of high energy density capacitors for use in electric vehicles. So this was really intended to be something where I tried to figure out if there's a way to improve the energy density of electrical storage for use in electric cars. So electric cars is something that I've been interested in for somewhere like 20 years or so.
So after that extensive 48-hour experience in grad school, you then go off on a 10-year tangent in an entirely different direction.